Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. We are live, baby. We got the boopies and the raindrops, Heavenly.
What's up, Carlos? How you feeling?
I feel good. So I want to know this. If your boobies ever try to do something to me, are you going to have my back?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I didn't know that was that bad. Like, everybody keep talking about these millimeters. Maybe I missed it. I didn't know they were that bad. Are they that bad?
Well,
everybody keep talking about them. I mean, from Marcel to now Stormy to the girl Destiny, everybody talking about the millimeters be going in real bad.
So this is how I look at things. I never want to group one person's individual action to an entire group, right? So that's how I felt about it. I would never sit up and say the entire fan base, because not all fan bases operate the same way. You may have 1, 2, or 5 who may do something extreme, but it should not represent the entire fan base. But yes, let's get right into it, because somebody filed charges against Stormy for harassment. And apparently in the state of Alabama, whoever files first, they can have a case. And that's why there was a warrant out for Stormy, and she had to turn herself in. And then when you saw the scene where she's getting her makeup done, you know, because we all want to look cute with a mugshot, child. She's getting her makeup done, her hair is done, but you could tell that she was visibly upset. How did you feel watching that? Because I felt really bad that she had to go through this based on somebody coming on her turf trying to record stuff.
You know what, Carlos? I'm gonna just be very honest with you. I give up on the legal system, the court system, the government, the presidential election. The world is just, our country just effed up. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't know if this is right to say or whatever. Y'all got a man running for president with 34 convictions, felonies. Like, y'all got black people in jail for $5 worth of weed that's been in there for years. The world just not right. Like, I don't understand. Anybody could sue anybody for anything. So when you see on the internet somebody getting sued, anybody could be sued. That's why I don't understand. And in reality TV, you a target. You a target. You just really are. I mean, the mama wasn't wrong with that shit. You are a target. I could say some things that have happened to my castmates, but anybody could file charges. My whole thing is this. And maybe because I'm a Scorpio, maybe because I grew up with the school of hard knocks, I would have just been like, she don't have no license to lose. You know what I'm saying? When I apply for my license, I got to re-say, hey, do I have any felonies convicted? She run her own business. So at the end of the day, F them people gone down there, look cute. I ain't finna cry. I'm going to go down there and say, hey, you know what? Somebody did some stuff, and make fun of it, hand me a drink and go home. Maybe because it's me, I don't know, something wrong with me, but I wouldn't have been crying about that. I wouldn't have been that upset about it. I would have been just like, you know what? It's part of the game. I just made $1 million on TikTok, bitch. So what? I'm going to just do this. This is just a part of the game. Too much is given, much is required. Let me go ahead and do this. I know I ain't did nothing really. I got support of my husband, maybe not her mother so much, but I'm going to go on and do this, look cute, and be done with it. I wouldn't have been all upset about that. I wouldn't have. I really wouldn't have.
You know what it was for me? Because listen, and I'm glad we're talking about this, because you are a reality star that's been on the show for more than 10 years. You know, I'm a public figure too, and we both experience people attacking us. And like you said, it's part of the gig. To whom much is given, much is required. When I saw her cry, I looked at it in terms of, it was less about her going to jail, because she knew at the end of the day she was going to be fine. I think, and I want to get your thoughts on this, I think it had something to do with, damn, why are you attacking me so much because you're watching a TV show and you don't like me? Like, it's one thing to diss me on the comments. Cool. It's one thing to maybe do a vlog and you're talking shit about me, cool. But when you take it to the point where you're going to court of law, and like you said, going to the police station, the law is broken if anybody off the street can file charges showing a one-sided video of a woman reacting to someone trespassing her establishment, then what are we doing here? Why go that far? Like, at some point, when is enough is enough? And should there be laws intact to protect celebrities when it comes to this?
I absolutely think it should. I mean, some of the things that have happened to our castmates based on nothing, you know what I'm saying? And people coming back and pretending they're somebody they're not and doing whole vlogs to make them look bad in their career. It's just awful. I just don't know why. It's a TV show. At the end of the day, Carlos, it's entertainment. It's real, but it's dramatized. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, get a life. Really. Just get a life. I mean, even when we do these vlogs here, it's entertainment. A lot of times I don't even know who the hell. Like, to me, I didn't even know Stormy was disliked because I like her. For the show,
Yeah.
I did not think that her and Melody were at odds. Are they? I thought they were cool. I didn't think they were bad. So for people, they just need to get a life. I've seen people say horrible things about me, horrible things about everybody, about you, everything. And I'm just like, I mean, I know it goes with the territory, but to going all the way to have to sit up and basically it's just your time and your energy to go down there. Maybe you have to pay a couple of dollars because I would get an attorney, you know what I'm saying, get a return. So it's just a frustration of having to go through that. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to speak to the fans of these shows. Listen, I am somebody who loves all my viewers. Like, our shows are successful because of the audience, and I love every single one of them. Even if you don't like me, I don't really give a shit. Watch the show. I don't care. I would implore. I will implore to some of the audience who go to the extreme. You are attempting to ruin someone's life because you're watching a show and you don't like them. What
Not
happened?
only that, not
Go
only
ahead.
that, they're seeing somebody living a life that they can never live. They watching Stormy and she's making $1 million. She's got a multi-million-dollar business. Why should she have that and they don't? And she works hard. She's done her work. She's taken a lot of chances. A lot of people won't do that. Even if you give them step by step by Dr. Heaven University, most of the people not gonna do it no way. So why are you mad at the people who do? That's all I'm saying. And it's just heartbreaking because I mean, as a people, we should take care of each other. You know, I know we tear each other down as far as words on reality TV, but I think it's like almost a evil that's out there, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we can do to change that. I mean, internet is already because the people there, to me, they're cowards, meaning that you don't have to show your face. A lot of times, you could say whatever. For me, the people that talk shit about me understand you restricted, so you're probably talking all kind of cash shit to me. I would never see it because you restricted. So get a
You
life.
block people?
I don't block them, I restrict them. So I don't never see what they saying. You know what I'm saying? So they just still talking, they still be on my comment section, but you restricted, boo. You know what I mean? Get a life.
Yeah, and I happen to agree with you in terms of, even if you may feel like you want this person's life, right? Or you're envious or you feel some kind of way about it, use that feeling to motivate you instead of using it to tear down somebody's business so that they could be on the same level as you. Like that's when it's too far. But listen, we'll get into what happened with Stormy and her mom in a second, but I want to talk about what happened between the guys. So
Okay.
Martell, Courtney, Stormy's husband, Ken, and Chris Fletcher all went out bowling, and Martell decided to bring up, no, Ken decided to bring up to Martell that Trisha felt some kind of way when Martell pretended that he didn't know who she was. All of a sudden, Martell started to ask Ken if Trisha told him how he knows Martell. And then Ken is sort of like, well, not really, your brother or something. Or Martell's like, I met her through my brother. But Martell was being very coy in all of this. What were your thoughts watching that? Do you feel like Martell was trying to lead Ken down a path in order for him to believe or know that something happened between him and Trisha.
What I think is exactly what I'm pretty much 90% sure that Martell was trying to pick him to see what he knew. You know what I'm saying? And see what she said to him before he put out there what he was going to say. For me, and this is just me, I don't know shit and everything's alleged. It's the same thing I said before. He knows the girl. They probably dated. They have not had sex because he said it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he would have said it if they had. He wouldn't have made that, but she wanted to. And she was attracted.
You think Trisha wanted to have sex with Martell?
I've been saying that every time. I've been saying it every time. And
but
she got
you think Martell told her no?
No. I think that they just never got to that because, Martell, to me, in my opinion, is a hoe, so anybody could get it. I'm just saying I don't think they came to that. I think they feel it. How these people play around, but they never did get together. But when you saw her in the first scene, you could tell that she was attracted to him. You know what I'm saying? And he gets off on women being attracted, so he just smiles and smiles. So, yeah, he probably thinking in his mind he could have got it if he wanted to. They did talk a little bit, maybe not. Maybe exchange numbers, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Really went out really good, maybe once. But it seemed like they had something. But he was trying to feel the other dude, Ken, to see what Ken knew because he didn't want to say too much. That's what I got out of the conversation.
Oh, that's very interesting. So Martell was testing Ken to see how much Ken knew before he... Oh, now I get it. Martell wanted to test Ken to see how much he knew so that Martell did not say anything that could incriminate him and Trisha.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. That's what I saw. You know what I'm saying? With my man, and my man get to running, but it be running in the right direction most times. Most times they be right. I'm a relationship expert, so I see what it was. So what about Martell saying he ready to get married, but he would never say that girl? What's her name? Ariane Coleslaw. He would never say her. He would never say her because it seemed almost like he probably is serious about somebody else. It ain't Sheree. It ain't Sheree. Come on now, y'all. It ain't Sheree. Come on now.
Why is it Sheree?
He said within the next year and a half, he expects to be married. But he would not say that girl.
I think Martell and Sheree were having fun.
Yeah, for sure. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't have no problem with that, Sheree.
Me neither. It was nothing serious to me. They were having fun. No, so Martell really would not answer the question if he would ever marry his baby's mother.
He said it on your show. I asked him. I said, are you going to marry? He said no.
What do you think that's about? Because a lot of fans in the comments were saying they feel like Martell constantly disrespects this woman.
He does.
You think he does?
Called her what he called a peasant, and then he always says he's not gonna marry her. He said that to me. That ain't no hearsay. He said that, and he said it in a way like never. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not marrying her. I mean, she got his kid. I honestly think he loved Mel. That's over with. They done messed up, but he loved Mel. Even when they got down there to fighting at the girl thing at Disney thing, to me he still protected Mel. So my whole thing is he got somebody, and he probably doing like Quad did. Is not telling nobody who he really serious about because he don't want to bring them to the camera because y'all will tear it up. You know what I'm saying?
How would we won't tear it up. I would love to listen. I think we all would love to see both Mel and Martell move on into another prosperous relationship. But do you think this is Martell and Melody capable of having a sustaining relationship with somebody that they bring on the show?
No. You don't think so? I ain't why I think that, but you know why, Carlos. It ain't gonna work, boo.
Why not?
I think, honestly, for me, and I'm a relationship expert, I'm gonna just tell you, I think you always love your first wife. I do. I just do. It's a thin line between love and hate. You might hate her now, but I think you always have some love for your first love, especially if y'all were together 7, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You got love for that person, and you don't want to be, and you could have moved on. You could have moved on, but you do not really want to see your ex with somebody else. You just don't. That's my thought. I'm just saying for me, if somebody with my man, I don't care if we is, you know what I'm saying, it ain't gonna never happen. I'm knocking on wood, but I say I want to fight her on sight, and she ain't have to do nothing. So no, we cannot occupy the same space on the same show because we probably gonna get into it. You know what I'm saying?
So you think when it comes to the first wife, it's hard for a husband to get over his first wife,
Not only husband, but wife too.
over her
The
first
wife could be
husband?
done too, but she don't. She ain't gonna never like the new chick. That's my thought. I mean, and that's my. I've learned that the hard way.
Are you learning that on your show?
No, not really. It's a lot going on, but nah, not really.
Because you got a lot of X's and X's, that whole
It's a
situation.
lot going on, baby, but we gotta push through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but listen, I think this. I I will say this. I do think when it comes to you dating somebody when you're on a hit reality show, you always have to watch out for the intentions, right? Because if they're too eager to be on the show, to me, that's a red flag.
I agree. I
That's a
agree.
red flag, right?
Hmm.
So when it comes to Martell, I think it's easy. Listen, it's easy for Martell to meet a woman. He's a handsome guy. Um, I think Martell has no shortage of finding a woman that he can mess with. But
Right.
there could be a shortage of finding a woman that you can be with that may not be with you for the wrong reasons.
And it's difficult to really tell. That's why I say I would give it some time, at least a year or two, just putting them in the background and tell them, I'm never gonna bring you to the show and see if they stay. Because if that's all they want, you got to give them some time, right?
That's some good advice. So if you're on a reality show and you're single and you're dating somebody who you like, you should say to them, I'm on this show. I'm not gonna bring you on. I wanna take my time with it. See what happens, maybe what after a year or two.
Yes, yes, yes. Give it some time. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell if it's right. But you know what? They have to have their own. I mean, you can't come on with me trying to come in and me market your business if you too into that and trying to come up off of it and stuff like that and being seen on TV thinking it's gonna help your business, then that's one thing. So yeah, I think a lot of people like anybody could find anybody, but on reality TV, people have false pretenses. Just like they get in people inboxes and arresting people. It's all kind of people out there trying to get you for whatever reason. So for sure, Martell needs to be careful. Melody needs to be careful. The people on our show need to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You meet somebody in a DM, you need to think about that 2-3 times before you marry them. You know?
Yes. What are your thoughts on Ken? Because some people in the comments after watching that scene felt that Ken was in denial and that he's too much of a nice guy to fully understand exactly what is going on between Trisha and Martell. Do you think he's just comfortable in his skin, or do you think Ken is naive?
I think that a lot of times, and I've learned this, I'm a relationship expert. I've learned that a lot of black men and men in general will not think about something in order to not to get mad about it. So in his mind, he has to block that thought. He does not think that, okay, let me block out the things that she possibly slept with Martell. Because if that comes in my mind, I'm gonna get very angry. So I think a lot of men just don't deal with things. I've seen, like, for example, my daddy, my father, a lot of things would go on and he would not give his personal opinion on a lot of things because, like, when my brother got mad, he wasn't saying nothing. But when he did get mad, it would go to hell. Like, he would get really angry. So a lot of times he didn't respond to certain things that were going on. The way Ken is dealing with this is, hey, I don't know if this is true or not, but my mind, I can't think of this true, so I'm going to be in denial anyway. So I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to deal with the thought of it because if I did, I'd probably be upset.
You are really good at this.
I know I am. I really am. I know I laugh and joke, but I really am a relationship expert. And the people get divorced between year 3 and 7. That's why they say it's a 7-year itch. So you got to be with somebody a long 7 years before you out the clear, because they say after 7 years, chances are you will stay with that person on the long term. How long you been with the African?
I'll talk to you offline. I have updates for you.
Okay, okay, I know that's right. Praise God. But I'm just saying, the first 2 years is lolly dolly. Just like
Yes.
cheating, people don't start out cheating usually. Usually in a relationship, they don't start out beating your ass in a relationship the first 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little while, and then they get comfortable, and then they start doing things that wouldn't. And then a lot of times, I'm gonna tell you, I've learned that women will deal with a lot of mess I never would have thought it. But even professional women, some of my friends, professional women who got their bag, they stay with men anyway, just because they don't want to look as like a failure in their marriage. And it's amazing. I
Are
just
these
have
are
never
these
seen it.
married women or just women
Th-
in
They're
relationships?
married women that have their own. I know a lot of women stay there because they like my mama. My mama had two kids outside of marriage. So when she met my father, she stayed with him because it was like somebody helping her take care of her kids. So he joined the army, he moved out, and he moved to Germany, but he was sending a check. So she would stay with him for the check. But my whole thing is she didn't have another way. You know, you have to prepare to leave if you don't have no money. You know what I'm saying? But these women got their own money. So you thinking they would never go for that, but they going for it. You know what I'm saying? Abuse, neglect, people talking to them crazy, being, volatile for lack of a better word. Some of my close friends are dealing with that. And I'm like, why are you there, beautiful? I be telling them, and if you do too much, they'll be mad at your ass, so you better be quiet.
Well, I think the problem is this, and I want to ask you this because some of my friends in reality are going through this, and I'll talk to you about this too, because you're my relationship coach
I
and
got you, boo.
expert,
I got you.
apparently. So when you are on reality television or just a celebrity in general, but especially in reality TV, it's hard to date for two reasons. I know women who are on reality television today that once they introduce their man on the show, all of a sudden, some of the audience members start Googling and finding things about this person. And the man is like, you mean to tell me being with you comes with this? And I know somebody, well, we both know this person. I'm not going to say her name. Somebody we both know who's a reality star. She said to me to my face, I will never bring my real man on this show because I know for a fact he will leave me. When I do find my husband, I will quit the show because that's the only way I will ever be happily married.
Yeah, I agree with that 1000% because just like for example, we're gonna throw out Quad name. As soon as them people find out, and it's already vlogs out there, they're false on Quad's new man, talking about his fake and all of that. As soon as they know his name, anything he's done since birth, probably since inception, like before they fertilized the egg, we gonna know everything about this damn man. So if he's done anything, and I know Quad knows it, you know what I'm saying? And I know she probably did a background check. She know everything about this man before she presented him. He must be good because they looking for stuff. For example, Married to Medicine is very difficult to cast. You know why? Because not only do you have the relationship part of it, you got the doctor part of it. Because if anything has happened with any of these physicians, any of these attorneys, all that shit gonna come up on TV. And I know for a fact they try to cast a lot of my friends, and once they realize, they were like, "Nah, girl, I can't do that show." And it ain't just because somebody was cheating. A lot of people are. A lot of men will not do the show because they know they're cheating. But a lot of people have stuff happen in their career that they like, "Nah, I can't do that show. I can't do that show." So it's difficult to cast anyway. And my whole thing is, if you know it's something in your background, they used to teach us to just put it out there, just own the shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it, I didn't even say you ain't gonna spray me with my own tea. Just
Yes.
go and put it out there and just own it. Folks, somebody get it and then put it in the background, and then now you got to deal with it. But it ain't what happens to you, darling. It's how you respond to what happens to you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no,
So
1000%. That's the reason why. Listen, I was out recently and somebody with my friends. And a raindrop came up to me, like, oh my God, I love you, Carlos, whatever. And then she goes, is this your African? And I'm like, no, this is my best friend. And the reason why, listen, regardless of whatever happens in my relationship, which life happens, the reason why I gave the name African is because I won't ever tell anybody who he is
because you
because
want
of
them to
that.
think he a rich black man, because y'all be getting them African men that's rich. You know what I'm saying? If you say he's Jamaican, y'all gonna be like, "Oh no, he broke. Carlos taking care of
No.
him." No, 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 no. You know what I'm saying? But if you say African, it gives the inkling that he got some money, even though
No,
he's
it's
scared
because
for the
I
money.
wanted to attach something to it. But my
Right.
thing is this: regardless of what happens between he and I, if we're together, not together, whatever. What I will say is this: I it would be hard in my position to introduce a guy into this world I'm in because I would be concerned with what he would get. It ain't about me because I don't really give a shit. It's more so about them. You get what I'm saying? Because they have nothing to do with this. And I don't want to bring anybody into like the stuff I have going on. I can deal with the shit that comes with me, but I would be sad about people, which is why I look up to Oprah and Stedman, because Stedman, at the end of the day, Oprah says her biggest regret was introducing people to him. And then she said she would never do it again. And that's why you haven't seen him around in years. In years. So it is difficult. And my hope is that y'all can stop trying to Google people, honey, and get their background and just tell their tea when they just sign up for this mess.
Well, what you're trying to say is you can produce reality TV and you could be all in other people's business, but you would never be on reality TV and present your business. That's what you're saying, Carlos.
That is what I'm saying, because I don't believe in getting high off your own supply.
There you have it. There you have it. And honestly, I swear to you, I tell you all the time, if a lot of these relationships on our show, I can't speak for no other show because I don't watch them, but for our show, we have relationships that have that are solid. Meaning, I've been with my man 30 years. That motherfucker ain't going nowhere, and neither am I. You know what I'm saying? You know, Simone, she had some issues, but she been along with her man longer than me. Jackie been with her man over 20 years. Eugene and Toya been together a long time. Squad, she got married right before or right during when we
Right
started
before the show, yeah.
and it didn't last. You know, and I think that relationships, I'm not gonna say no names, but y'all already know what I'm saying. Relationships that start on the show and get married on the show, they don't last. The only way that relationship gonna last is if they get off the show and they could just thrive without TV.
And sometimes when they get off the show, they get a divorce because the person who was in the relationship wanted them because they were on the show.
Absolutely, absolutely, absoltly. That is
so,
absolutely true.
Let's get into Stormy and her mother.
Okay.
Before we get to the minutia and the details of the scene, I first want to hear your thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on Stormy's mom, Miss Betty, just overall?
I think that Stormy's mom, Miss Betty, is just old school. I think that a lot of times, maybe not directly, but indirectly are a product of slavery. And slavery, we were taught to beat our kids, tough love. And it don't mean that they don't love their kids. They love them to death. They love their kids more than anything, but they just don't know how to show affection. And I dealt with that. You know, my mom, we went years without saying I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's something real. My mom was 89 when she died, so she's old school. And then I'm 53, so she had me late. But my whole thing is those old school people like that, they taught like that not to show love, to have hard love, to not be. But that don't mean they don't love their kids. They don't love their kids. She loves her daughter, but she doesn't realize how bad it is for her daughter not to show that support. She's feeling like she's helping her by teaching her a lesson when she's a grown ass woman, and the lessons have already been learned. So my whole thing is, I don't think badly of Miss Betty. I think that Miss Betty's doing the best she can. But she just does not know how to show that affection. But she does love her daughter.
You know what's so funny? I was having a conversation with my siblings about this recently, about now that I'm older, because I've always been gay. So I remember growing up with my father, and I spoke about this. It was very hard for a Black man born in the late 40s. Let's have a real conversation. To have my son is gay, and not only am I gay, my mannerisms was what it was, right? So we had some sort of friction, me growing up, and it took me to be older to say to myself, I owe him some grace, because I don't know what it's like to be born in the 40s. And I don't know what it's like to be alive in the 50s and the 60s, doing Jim Crow era, like you said, slavery, like all of those things, like where his father, my grandfather, rest in peace, literally picked cotton and had to struggle to be, a Black man in this world. So I saw that to say, I literally told my father one day, I apologize if I ever came across like I was mad at you. And mind you, I'm the kid in the situation, but I had to see the world through my father's eyes for me to truly understand his experience. And when I did that, I understood, I really understood that he was just doing his best with what he was given.
Absolutely.
Not only given from like his parents, but what society gave a black man born in the 40s. And who am I to live my adult life not acknowledging that, not saying he was right or wrong, like that's all subjective, but I had to give him some grace. So I love the fact that you're saying with Miss Betty, because Miss Betty's getting read in the comments, child. But I would like to have an important conversation based on what you said in terms of some parents, like your mom, may she rest in peace, showed love differently. My mother said, I love you every single day, multiple times a day before she passed, but that's my mom. But I know that a lot of women who are mothers in that era did not say that. And I think Miss Betty is just somebody who probably had a very hard upbringing and she chooses to express her love in different ways.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, slavery and the aftershock of it for so many generations has messed people's minds up. Like we're still healing from that. And
Yes.
myself included, sometimes we speak harshly to people and don't even realize how bad it is because we were just brought up that way. And I'm telling you, it's a flaw within our minds, but we're learning to do better. But we all need therapy. We all in pain. We all been hurting. We all have been through shit. But it's like some people learn to put a wall up and not even deal with it, the stuff like that. That's why I understand her mom. It ain't that she don't love her child, because she'll die for her child, but she just does not know how to express that love. She just doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah. So let's get into it because she did not show up for her daughter while she was turning herself in. And Miss Betty is a type of mother, and I feel like I would have a glimmer of this possibly if I'm ever a dad. Um, I have no desire to be one today, but things change tomorrow. I do feel like, and I want to hear your thoughts because you love your daughter.
Oh
That's
yeah,
your
for
that's
all
your
my
best
kids.
friend.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, you love all your kids, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Mhm.
but when it comes to your daughter, because I want to talk about mother-daughter relationships, your daughter's your best friend, right? Like best friend. Um, Miss Betty chooses to give her daughter tough love, and she says to her, I am somebody who pretty much, I told you so. I told you that hanging out with Melody was not going to end well for you. And when I brought myself into it, I'm like, I think I would be that type of dad because low key, I'm like that to my siblings. I'd be like, I told you, I try to tell you. But Stormy said something like, I still wanted you there for me. But if you told your beautiful daughter something and she decided not to listen to you and something bad happens, how would you handle that situation? Are you an I told you so type of mom too?
No, no, I'd be there for my daughter. I'd have been down there. I don't care what happened. But I do understand her mentality because, like I say, I know my mom. My mom loved me dearly, but she couldn't show it. It's like she probably didn't even want to see Stormy in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? They don't need me going down there acting a damn fool because she know who she is. They don't, you know what I'm saying? So let me. Stormy's stronger than me. She is. You know what I'm saying? That's the mother. This is what the mother thinks. She's stronger than me. I know she's going to be okay. Ain't no need in me going down there acting a damn fool, making it worse. So let me keep my ignorant tail home. But for me, no, I would have been down there for my daughter. I would have been, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that probably would have acted a damn fool, but throw some names and some money around and get my kid. You know what I'm saying? But it really wasn't that big of a deal. And to me, when I first saw that scene with her crying, I was thinking like, bitch, this ain't that big of a deal. Cause I know people that's been to jail. Really, all you gotta do is post whatever and be gone. You know what I'm saying? So I know it wasn't that big of a deal. But I guess if that's your first time, which it wasn't her first, which we learned that it wasn't her first time, but to me, it wasn't that deep for her to be doing all of that. To me, but that's just me. I ain't saying she did wrong. I'm just saying for that, she knew she wasn't gonna do no time. All you do is post your bond or whatever and be done. Long as it ain't on a weekend, don't ask me how I know that. Long as it ain't on a Friday, because some people it's all weekend before the judge get there. But if it's on a weekday, turn yourself in on a Tuesday morning. That way you know the judge in there. You can get your shit and you get your bond and get on the hell on.
Yes, guys, do not go to jail on a Friday.
Don't get arrested on a damn Friday because they'll hold your ass all weekend waiting for the judge. The judge will release you on your own recognizance if you don't have a charge. You know what I mean? You don't have no long listing of charges against you. Now, Donald Trump, they ought to have kept him, held him, but they didn't. But I'm just saying for her, if she ain't got no long list of charges, they're going to release you. You just post your bond. What could it be? You cursing somebody out, you didn't hit them. Okay, your bond, $2,500. Bye-bye. That's it.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. So when Miss Betty even said what you talked about, Heavenly, that this ain't your first time being in jail.
To me, that was thrown under the bus on TV. Like, why you say that, Miss Betty? Maybe she didn't want. I didn't know. Maybe y'all already knew that. I didn't know that about Stormy. That was not her first time.
Well, Stormy is what you said. Celebrities should do. Get in front of it. Stormy has already talked about her past.
Okay.
In that particular.
So it's already out there. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she put out there herself. And she owned up to. I mean, listen, everyone's young. Everyone does something, whatever. But I think it was that moment of like, Miss Betty. I think what Stormy's asking for in this very moment is just for you to apologize for not being there and to listen. But it even gets further because Miss Betty has said, and I want to make sure I get this right. Miss Betty says, you pretty much, I told you not to hang out with Melody. I told you not to do that. You did not listen to me. One of her fans got you in this predicament. And Miss Betty feels like Melody should talk to her fans and tell them that this is wrong. And she feels like she activates her fans. Do you feel like Melody should say something about this publicly in terms of, hey guys, this was wrong, don't do this?
And I'm going to say this and I'm going to take it back. Them Scorpios are Brother Tucker. We got some of them on our show. I'm a Scorpio. Phaedra Parks is Scorpio. Melody's a Scorpio. They are vindictive people. They are, you could say what's right or what's wrong. Melody ain't going to do it. She ain't going to do it. She ain't going to tell them people to activate in her own words. She probably got some words she used for them to activate, but she never going to tell them people to stand down. I don't think. Has she done it?
Never? No, well, remember what you said to Marcel 2 weeks ago. She said, how can I tell a bunch of people I don't know what to do when you guys can't even tell your own mother-in-law what to do? Teacher's mom.
She could deactivate them people somewhat. I'm telling you, she can't have total control. But if she say, hey, y'all, you know what? Listen, my millimeters, I just want to talk to y'all. Listen, this is a reality TV show, and we're all having fun. We're putting our real lives out there. Listen, y'all are going too deep. Can y'all stop it for me? For me, I understand and I love you guys for everything y'all done for me. But I need y'all to stand down. I think pretty much they would. And like I said before, not saying her, but I know a lot of times people have bots. So you can stop a lot of that shit. You can stop it. But will she? Ain't saying she, you know what I mean? No. And the people be coming at me like, why you talking bad about? I ain't never said nothing bad about Melody. I actually like her because I think.
What they be saying to you? I didn't know. What they be saying to you?
They come at me, but they be wanting to start some shit. Just like the people say throwing little shit out there, they want me to respond to it. A lot of shit I don't respond to unless I want to. But I don't think Melody's gonna stop that. I think that she feels like that's her defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? Just like we got boobies, people going in there heavily. Shit, the boobies go back in. Hell, you think I'm gonna stop them? Cause y'all saying ignorant shit too. So let them boobies keep on. You know
what would you? Okay. I want to ask you this: if one of your boobies went to Simone's practice and got a video and antagonized her and press charges on Simone, what would you say to that boobie, Dr. Heavenly? What would you do?
I would tell him never do that. I would tell him don't do that. Stand down, don't do that. But them people, some of them people got a mind of their own, for real. And like if they already did it, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna stop them when they already there? You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to be real careful. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so hard to cast Married to Medicine. Because right now, yes, it's hard to cast Married to Medicine because right now we make enough because we've been on there 10 years. But if you start out and you know what the people start out, I don't need to say the number. It's the same number that you start the people out with. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. It ain't
I
worth it.
don't
It's
pay
like,
people, honey. That's
I'm
the
just
network
saying, you know
does.
what I
Go
mean?
ahead.
But what I'm saying is, it's not worth it to a whole physician and a dentist couple that's already making money, that already got it going on, to come on a reality TV show. For us, it was something kind of new. You see what I'm saying? So, it's hard.
Yeah. No, it is hard. It is hard. And that's why, listen, for me, I will say this. I want to talk to any audience member or viewer who watches my shows. Like, I want us to get back to having fun as we
Yes.
talk about the shows, recap the scenes, give our opinions, and just use this as one big message board. But when you go as far as to involving the law, like that's when it's not cool. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like we should all like you and us recapping our shows is fun. And even when we do that, like you said, you have some people who attack you. I get attacked too. You and I are the same. We don't feed into it. I don't, child, because y'all want a response out of us. And I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do that. So we should get back to just like enjoying the show, having
Because
an
funny
opinion.
is money. I think the funny is the money. That's why I always not, it ain't funny to the person I'm talking about at all. At all. But my stuff, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but most of my stuff is funny. You know what I'm saying?
All of it's funny. No, you're you're
But the
you're
person that
funny.
I'm doing it to will say it's mean. I don't know. I feel like if you put it out there on TV, we could laugh about it.
Yeah. Or we can talk about it and we can have an opinion about it. And that should be fine. I am never mad at
And let's be
anybody.
clear. Nobody on reality, well, I don't know about y'all shows, but on Married to Mess, don't nobody put all their business out there. Nobody does. They put out there what they want y'all to have. Because if I know so much about everybody on this show that's not on the show, you know what I'm saying? So if you put it out there in your scenes as your story, I'm feeling like you feel comfortable enough to talk about it, right?
Yeah. I agree with you. 1000%.
So,
1000%.
that's what it is. But yeah, Stormy Mama, love her. She just, she's broken. She's dealt with a lot, and everybody's hurting. That lady been through a lot. I don't even know her story. I'm just looking at her and knowing how she's acting. She's been through a lot in her life. I'm telling you, she has.
Yeah. 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 No, I agree with that. I agree with that. So look, Heavenly, we have to first give props to you on Dr. Heaven University, on your Patreon. Your Destiny interview did very well. A lot of people watched it and enjoyed it. I am one of those people. And I want to say, listen, kudos to you. And I want to see you interview some more of my cast members, by the way.
I've been so busy though, Carlos. I mean, I really love doing everything. I love doing the dentistry. I love doing the show, everything. But just this last few weeks, we've been really into it on the show. I'm telling you, we putting it down for y'all on Married to Medicine. I can't tell y'all what's going on, but baby, and I know I always say this, and I know you'll take this as a grain of salt, but I mean it. This is the best season ever. Depending on how they edit it, even if they got the edit, it's going to be amazing. Everybody's giving, everybody's doing their part, everybody's pushing through. And I think the difference between our stuff and a lot of people's stuff, not saying y'all, but housewives in general, our stuff is so real. And we
Yeah.
not actresses. So I mean, watch my Patreon. I'm gonna still go live. I'm gonna do more Patreon. I'm gonna go live probably 3 times a week. Watch my YouTube for this show and other things when I have time to do it. And in Dr. Heavenly University, we do have an event coming up where we got people that are presenting their businesses ideas, and they're actually bringing it in a Shark Tank fashion. I'm going to decide which businesses I think are viable, and then we're going to invest in those businesses, and not just invest in them, help them market the businesses and see if we can push them. And of course, we'd own a percentage of it. So a group of my friends are getting together. We're going to help them, show them how to start and run a successful business. But we're looking at business entities that are already up and going. And I'm telling you what we're looking for. We're looking for the people that's willing to work. The people that's going to work the hardest. So people that have a great idea. The people that have already started but just don't have the financial wherewithal to continue. But if you put in the work, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for somebody that's, lazy or whatever. But yeah, Dr. Heavenly University, we're going to continue with that. I'm gonna get into more of that with the business, the money, the relationships, how to use your insurance to be a bank. Y'all heard it before, but y'all need to step by step how to use the trust right, how to get money. I'm telling you, the main thing we're talking about is real estate. That's the number one way to create generational wealth. I'm buying a house for each one of my children. That's what I'm working on now. The cars and the gold and the jewelry and the all that, no, no. Save your money, get you one house, build the equity up, pull the equity out, buy another one. Do the same thing. The idea is to rent the house out so you don't have to pay for it. But anyway, that's Dr. Heavenly University. Make sure you continue to follow me on my Patreon at patreon.com/dr_heavenly and on all other platforms at youtube.com/Dr. Heavenly Blog everywhere. But
Get
it's
it,
always
baby.
good to talk to you, Carlos. What do you got coming up?
Good, baby. Well, we have a new show called Family Empire that comes on every Friday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on, and it's exactly what Dr. Heavenly's talking about. This show, Family Empire, is about a Black-owned real estate brokerage that was owned by this beautiful Black woman named Oscarine, who is in her 80s, and she left a legacy for her children and her grandchildren. And her granddaughters, who are in their 30s, some in their 40s, are running this business. And it's about family wealth, family legacy, family drama, because we all know when you get family together, honey, that's when the real stuff comes out too. So Family Empire every Friday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And as always, Love and Marriage Huntsville every Saturday, 8 o'clock, 7 Central on OWN. Heavenly, I love you, sis, and I will see you next Monday.
Bye. Bye-bye.